Hello, niece and nephew. Today we're gonna learn about transport layer. Okay, let's go. This is chapter 3 outline. 1. Introduction. 2. Transport layer protocols. 3. User datagram protocol. And 4. Transmission control protocol. The objective of this chapter is we introduce general services we normally require from the transport layer, such as process-to-process communication, addressing, multiplexing, error, flow, and congestion control. We discuss general transport layer protocols such as stop and wait, go back in, and selective repeat. We discuss UDP, which is the simpler of the two protocols we discussed in this chapter. We discuss TCP services and features. We then show how TCP provides a connection-oriented service using a transition diagram. Finally, we discuss flow and error control and congestion control in TCP. The transport layer provides a process-to-process communication between two application layers. Communication is provided using a logical connection, which means that the two application layers assume that there is an imaginary direct connection through which they can send and receive messages. And this is the image of logical connection at the transport layer. As we discussed in chapter 1, the transport layer is responsible for providing services to the application layer. In the next section, we discuss several transport layer protocols. Here are the topics we will learn today: process-to-process communication, addressing port numbers, ICANN ranges, encapsulation and decapsulation, and multiplexing and demultiplexing, flow control, error control, combination of flow and error control, congestion control, connectionless and connection-oriented. Here is the network layer versus transport layer. The first duty, process-to-process communication. A process is an application layer entity. The network layer is computer level. This is port numbers. Okay. This is IP addresses versus port numbers. IP address and port numbers different roles is selecting the final destination of data. The destination IP address is the host among the different hosts in the world. The port number one of the process on this particular host. This is ICANN ranges. Example 3.1. In Unix, the well-known ports are stored in a file called etc services. We can use the grep utility to extract the line corresponding to the desired application. Okay, here is socket address, a pair of socket addresses, the client socket address and the server socket address. This is encapsulation and decapsulation. The packets at the transport layers in the Internet user datagram segments packets will refer to transport layer payloads as packets. Multiplexing and demultiplexing. Multiplexing an entity accepts items from more than one source. Demultiplexing an entity delivers items to more than one source. Here is a figure to show you which is a pushing or pulling. Okay. This is flow control and the transport layer. The above discussion requires that the consumers communicate with the producers on two occasions: when the buffer is full and when there are vacancies. If the two parties use a buffer with only one slot, the communication can be easier. Assume that each transport layer uses one single memory location to hold a packet. When this single slot in the sending transport layer is empty, the sending transport layer sends a node to the application layer to send its next chunk. When this single slot in the receiving transport layer is empty, it sends an acknowledgement to the sending transport layer to send its next packet. As we will see later, however, this type of flow control using a single slot buffer at the next sender and the receiver is inefficient. This is error control at the transport layer. This is a figure of sliding window in circular format. Okay, this is sliding window in linear format. This is a connectionless service. This is connection-oriented service. This is connectionless and connection-oriented service represented as FSMs. This is summary of this lesson. The main duty of a transport layer protocol is to provide process-to-process communication. To define the processes, we need port numbers. The client program defines itself with an ephemeral port number. The server defines itself with a well-known port number. To send a message from one process to another, the transport layer protocol encapsulates and decapsulates messages. Flow control balances the exchange of data items between a producer and consumer. A transport layer protocol can provide two types of services: connectionless and connection-oriented. In a connectionless service, the sender sends packets to the receiver without any connection establishment. In a connection-oriented service, the client and the server first need to establish a connection between themselves. Okay, bye bye.